Today's conspiracy theories, tomorrow's headlines. Most are still asleep and I ain't talking about no bedtime. The truth is not a Google search, you need to get your head right. The Greek goddess of illusion was called Media, and I'm not a coincidence theorist, I look for thread lines. Smashing every deadline, no longer smashing red wine. Though I can hear the bells chime, it feels like the end times. That probably should have been smashed on red wine, but the carnal mind is foolish. Obey and end up ghoulish. Don't get used by instinct, take control and learn to use it. Make a load of earnest music, earn a few quid, learn a few tricks. Sure, the truth is persecuted, this whole world is pure abusive. Know a bit about everything and everything about nothing. Figured out my noggin while you picture out shopping. You sit about watching while I dish it out, stop it. I don't mean to sound cocky, I'm not even proud of it. It's a second itch to me, just to be this out honest. I don't even need to sound honest, never been about profit. Everything but out on it, you can bet your house on it. Doubt I'll be out for the count when the sounds, and I'm down for the beat, no beat down. I mean, how long's it been? Help me out. I've been the only one who's held me down. All in the mind, hell freeze now. Still sick with it, healthy how? Few bars down and the world freaked out. I don't reach out, I seek out to speak out. I'ma recount the reasons they beat out. I am not the way, no way. I have seen the way. Speak, repeat, there's no one.
Hello. Oh, shit. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to the 519 Divine Pints podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Daniel Pena. It is October 29, 2025, and we got a treat for you. No tricking, man. I'm here with Nick Craciun, and he is a representative chemical-free body with Tim James, the health hero, who I've had on January 15th or 14th, 2024. So please go ahead and check that episode out. And if you guys could, like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody around that this is going down. And we are having a good year, right? You know, it's all about the mindset. It's all about enlightening yourself. I mean, I understand that the society in the world is hard, but it's what we choose every day, what we think, what we breathe, what we live. You know, it really matters. It really, really matters. So if you guys could, like, subscribe, and share, please. This is episode 257. And first and foremost, if you guys could go over to chemicalfreebody.com to check out all of the supplements from Tim James, the health hero. 100% natural, doctor formulated, chemical free detoxing supplements. And I mean it. I've even had on Pat Militich, who works with them, who makes a super soldier. I have a coupon code 509 Divine Pine. So if you guys see this website popping up right here, he spells water hero with a 3. You know, there's we want to represent the 3 in us, the mind, body, and soul at all times. There's portable infrared saunas, green 85 juice, water device, air purifiers, all sorts of stuff, nano silver products, parasite free type of oils and essentials and tinctures. And right now, man, it's a good time to take your health serious, because I think something's coming. Something much bigger is coming, much more worse than COVID. I mean, it's because I'm reading the fucking tea, and I don't play. I don't pull no punches here. What I've been experiencing myself is strange with the frequencies of these 5G towers and 6G towers that they're implementing. And if I'm understanding the way that our phones and our computers and every single one of our networks is working, boy, it's messing with people's health. And I know in my local valley between Yakima and Tri-Cities, people are going crazy. Car wrecks, gun robberies. And this is not like people stressed because of money. This is like people going crazy. And it's almost every day now there's a major incident in one of these surrounding cities, and we're not used to it. One way that we can ground ourselves in this chaotic world is to put ourselves on natural elements and natural compounds, clean living, eating, clean thinking. And with that, Nick Craciun, if you could, man, let them know about yourself. You know.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you said grounding. I'm literally sitting on a grounding sheet. I have an extra one that I keep on my little couch spot right here. So, grounding, very important. I got my tinfoil hat, blocking all that stuff.
Oh, that's all of Tim James stuff too, huh?
No, we don't actually sell these, but
it's kind of similar, right?
Yeah, but yeah, these get one of these silver lined hats, man. It's fantastic because I sleep in it all the time. But
Yeah, blocking all those EMF frequencies, electromagnetic frequencies for everybody out there, and all the radiation is very essential because our body, our body is being attacked at the nuclear level, and then the nucleus, the very very cells that we live on, they're being attacked by these frequencies, and we have to do our best to heal ourselves, because the doctors aren't going to do it. But that's why Tim James is here, man. Yeah, no, go ahead and like let them know about your journey, man. Let them know how you got here. Let them know, let them know your story.
yeah, so basically, for a long time, I was very unhealthy. Basically, start when I was about 14 years old. I dealt with depression pretty hard. Uh, Never attempted suicide, but a lot of suicidal ideation all throughout my 20s and stuff. Um, I ended up having my daughter at 17, which thank God for her truly because I would have went down big time. I mean, I still like teetered over the edge with everything, but basically it was a lot of going through my 20s, using all kinds of different drugs, different stuff, just trying to feel normal. Started with smoking weed. I didn't really start smoking weed until like I did like a couple times in high school, but it wasn't until like my second semester in college where I became like a regular smoker. And that was fine for a while. It definitely helped to keep me level and all that. But after me and my daughter's mom broke up, it was just like after that second semester of college where I started going downhill because I was working at an Olive Garden, and that's when I started messing with pills, stuff like that, perks,
And then breadsticks don't help.
No, no, even a lot of those too. Yeah, dude, after my first semester of college, I ballooned up to like 240 pounds just from eating like Taco Bell every day and Olive Garden and stuff. It was bad, but I actually lost weight when I started smoking, but I was also doing pills and stuff too. So that was like the first time I lost weight, but it wasn't healthy. I wasn't healthy at all. But basically went through all my 20s just using all kinds of different drugs. I was never a deadbeat dad. I was always there, but it was just like when I was alone, when I was with myself, I was just a mess. I was just trying to get through the day. And I went through college, and I was like a year and a half out from graduating. Went to school for IT.
Put the mic just a little closer.
Yeah, I went to school for IT, and I just fell apart. Like I was at a frat, and I wasn't like the big party guy. I was just kind of the chill stoner frat guy. And but after I turned 21, I was dating one girl at the time that like I loved and thought I was gonna marry and all that good stuff. And that's when I got into pills, like for the second time. Like I stopped doing pills for a little bit, but this is when I got like addicted to them. And I was taking the what those Oxy 30s. And I was taking those like every day. And that's when things got really bad. And then eventually me and the girl moved in together. She found the Oxys, and that's when it was just like done. Like she broke up with me, and that's when I went through like the roughest patch because I obviously couldn't quit the Oxys. Um, like 2 weeks later, my grandpa died, who I got super, super close to, like the last year of his life. And I was just like spiraling big time. And but that basically just hung on for a while and then just kind of kept going through. Just I eventually got off the oxys, but I was still such a mess. Like the root issue wasn't fixed. I was still depressed. I still had suicidal ideation, but like I just always hung on for my daughter. And basically went through to like what 2016, 2017. And dude, of all things, I started messing with cough syrup, not codeine, the dextromethorphan, like robotripping, because it was like easily accessible. You can go to the store and buy it, and I became basically like addicted to that. And that was kind of weird because it acted like an SSRI. So if you kept taking it all the time, it would act like an SSRI in your brain. So I would like be not depressed. But if you're taking a whole bottle of Delsum every day or two, yeah, it's a mess. So
It's kind of like that craze that people were on with the triple C's and stuff. Like, they were just taking over the counter
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that's basically the Delsum. Like the main ingredient is the dextromethorphan, which is one of the things in the triple C's. But yeah, don't mess with that stuff. Any synthetic, just don't mess with it. But
I'm glad that you survived all that, man.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
But
Breathing
even went more like I had a little phase where dude, I used like uh, I think it was actually before that I was using fentanyl I was getting the gel patches and taking like slices off them and actually like smoking these gel patches of fentanyl. I never shot up anything. Like I did snort heroin. I never smoked crack. That was basically like the only things I didn't do was shoot up heroin and smoke crack. Besides that, I did like everything else. So, smoked meth. Don't do that. Dear God, don't do that. Stayed up for like 5 days straight. Started hearing like full orchestras in like my peripheral hearing. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like my peripheral hearing. It's like my hearing that was over there.
Well, so from what I know is that like when people are on those type of drugs and also very high, like not sleeping, um, their spirit breaks out of their equilibrium, and you're able to feel and hear their energies in other dimensions, which is not necessarily safe.
Yeah, it was something. It was definitely some form of psychosis. That's for sure.
Well, I think I mean I understand the APA, the American Psychology Association, and their their way of tricking everybody into thinking like we're hearing these voices that are not real, but they're real. We're seeing these things that are not real, but they are real. And it's like, you know, it, it, it's whatever you were experiencing was real, but you made it out, so that's good.
Yeah. I never heard voices. I never communicated with like entities or demons, like through everything. I never communicated with like any entities or demons or anything like that, which is great.
Good.
Yeah, that's that. I never dealt with that, luckily. Um, but I know they were like messing with me because the whole like suicidal ideation, just there's little
Right.
like nudges here and there in your head.
Right.
Like
Those are
that was
the
definitely something.
oppressive spirits that really want to target us and harm us.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So continue on, and like how did you what really made you what really helped you start changing your life?
So of all things, it was actually a pharmaceutical. It was when I was like 27, 28. Because I was like going in and out of like psych wards and stuff like that, and I was trying different SSRIs. Obviously, those didn't work; just made it worse. And I tried Wellbutrin, and that actually like got me out of the gutter, and basically made it so like I wasn't just super depressed. Like it actually, at the time, I kind of felt like it cured my drug addiction in a way because it worked with dopamine. So it gave me the dopamine that I was seeking from drugs and all other stuff. So that was like I was only on there for like 2 years, but in that 2 years was when I found Tim, found the company, and I detoxed, started to get taking the greens. And like after 1 month of doing that, I felt like literally a whole new person. That was May 2021. And that was like a godsend for real. Like because it was like I heard Tim on a podcast. It was actually on tinfoil hat because I was working in a machine shop and I went back and listened to like all these old tinfoil hats. I just happened to come across Tim. Bought the products, did some coaching, and my life literally the whole trajectory changed. Because dealing with depression, dealing like I wasn't healthy. I was drinking energy drinks. My gut felt like it was being stabbed every morning. Like my health was bad. And after that first month, I felt like my body was functioning for the first time like ever. It was weird. Like just all kinds of little things with your body that you don't even realize are wrong until you heal, and then you're like, oh, that wasn't a normal thing. Like, things I can't even think of anymore because it's just been so long. But all kinds of different little things in my body, like when I would sweat and my I would sweat and feel super uncomfortable just by sweating. It was like my body was trying to push stuff out of my pores, but it just wasn't capable
Bro,
of
that's
doing
what's happening to me right now. That's what's been happening to me over the last like week or two. I don't know what it is, but I've been feeling hot. I've been feeling like I don't know, something like attacking me, or like wanting to attack me, like a virus or like some type of thing. I feel that, man. Like right now I'm sweating. I'm not even kidding. I want to go turn off my heater, but I don't know if that's not really gonna help.
it. Yeah, I love sweating now. Like I sauna every single day now, and it's like I feel great when I sweat. I used to feel horrible when I sweat. It was just a really weird feeling. But it was just after that first month, I felt great sweating. It was like whatever was trying to detox, I was able to detox and was just kind of able to move on from it. But yeah, I basically just spent that May like the 2021 summer. I just spent a whole bunch of time golfing, taking the greens, cutting like that's when I started the kind of health journey of food. Like, okay, what's in this food? What's in that food? I stopped eating a bunch of stuff. I cut down on the energy drinks. I had to wean myself off of Red Bull because I was drinking so much Red Bull. It was bad. I drank at least 2 a day for like 5 years. But yeah, I weaned myself off. Basically, cut things out, and it was like 5 or 6 months later when I started growing sprouts. And then when I grew sprouts, like the very first time I grew like just a little sprout thing of it in a jar, I knew I was gonna start growing them like crazy and start selling them. Like I knew I wanted to make a thing of it. So
Do you still
then
do that?
oh yeah, yeah, that's my
What kind
little
of
side gig.
what kind of sprouts?
So my main ones that I grow are like broccoli, cabbage, kale, a couple varieties of radishes, peas, sunflower. I also grow like herbs for myself here and there, like cilantro, basil. I grow wheatgrass for my the juice.
You know, I've actually heard Tim James talk about sprouts. Could you talk about more about this and why sprouts are so important?
Yeah, he's the one that got me on it for sure. But basically, so there's sprouts and then there's microgreens. I only make a distinction because the FDA makes a distinction. Whatever, there is kind of a difference. So sprouts are basically ones that you grow in a jar, and you don't have any soil. So it's literally just seeds in a jar and water. That's it. That's all you need, and they're ready in like 3 to 5 days. Super, super, super easy to do. And then there's microgreens, which you grow in some sort of medium. You can grow them hydroponically, but with like no medium. But it's kind of you have to have a special tray, and you can only do certain varieties. But I just grow them in soil in these like 10 by 20 trays under lights, and they actually go through photosynthesis. Sprouts don't go through photosynthesis, but basically the idea is you're eating that whole plant. So the whole thing, all those nutrients that the plant would have stored in it in the seed to grow, you're consuming all that. Especially if you're like taking it and you're clipping the sprout fresh, like it's still alive. It's not traveling from Peru or something and landing on your kitchen table 3 weeks later. Like you clip that
And
thing fresh, it's still all those phytochemicals, all those nutrients, all those enzymes are lit live right there. All that life force, it's right there.
a lot of this helps like rebuild our DNA or strength, or how does this work?
Yeah, I mean it has to do something with that DNA. I'm not sure specifically on that because DNA is such a wild thing that I don't totally understand it, but I know that just taking in that vital life force is very, very powerful. Very powerful. I know
Right,
that I
it's
ate a
like the
lot of
building blocks of life, correct?
pretty much, yeah, because you're it's like so kind of like a weird comparison, but like the elites they drink baby blood, like the blood of the youth to stay young. So if you're eating a plant that's like a young plant, that's like a baby plant, you're gonna stay young. You're getting all those young nutrients. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So what else was really helping out this journey from the start? That way people can like if they're going through some type of toxification and they want to go ahead and detox, what were the, talk about it like the
Yeah,
leading up to here.
so drinking a lot of water for one. I I went from drinking like I don't even know how much drinking water I was drinking, not a lot, to drinking like a gallon a day. And when I first started drinking a lot of water, I would drink. I mean, even when I was just drinking a half a gallon to start, I was peeing like every 30 minutes, like nonstop. It was like every time I drank something, I had to go pee constantly. So I knew my body was flushing stuff out. And also at work, just just drinking a lot of good clean water and moving your body, just whether it's walking or working out, whatever it is, because it's just working your lymphatic system and your body's just cycling everything through. So literally just drinking a bunch of water and moving, like a very, very simple thing that alone detoxes you. But then you add in things like flaxseed water, which helps detox the gut. If you can get a sauna, sauna is good. I didn't get my sauna until like early 2023, but that was another game changer because you're sweating everything out. Your skin's the biggest organ, so if you can sweat everything out, like that is huge.
I'm at the gym in the morning or during the day. In the morning, I go on a walk. I'm sweating. During like after the gym, I usually hit the sauna, sweating. And man, yeah, dude, it's like my pores are constantly active. It's a bad thing to have closed pores and not sweat, or how's that?
It is said that like if you don't sweat a lot, you're not in great health. So it kind of depends. Like I mean, so if I wake up in the morning and it's like cold in my house because it's cold in Northeast Ohio right now, it takes me longer to sweat. But normally, like the sauna I have, it takes like 15 minutes. and you're dripping pretty good. But
how's this help out your lymphatic system? Your lymphatic system pulls in like toxins, right? Or
so the lymph nodes kind of like filter out toxins in a way, almost like in a way like little livers, I guess. So they can also collect things too. So if someone has like enlarged lymph nodes, they're just kind of full of toxins. Like sometimes people get sick and they get enlarged lymph nodes. So if you're
I actually had
cycling out toxins,
I had a lymph node removed on my left arm. It was extremely swollen up during high school.
oh really?
And around that time, I had a horrible diet: Dr. Peppers, burritos, hot Cheetos all day. That's all it was.
Yeah, they were just sucking in toxins.
But yeah, I definitely felt a little sick a little off.
Yeah, like when I used to get sick back in the day, it was like if there was like some sort of infection, you would get a swollen lymph node, something like that. But I haven't even been sick in like a year. So even last time I was sick, it was like there was something goofy that happened. I can't remember. But I know I was sick when the East Palestine thing happened. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like, what else? Like, what else do people need to do? Just drink water. And this not just drink water. And for me, I always like say like eat right, eat healthy.
yeah,
Um,
eat whole foods, avoid processed foods. I don't even eat at restaurants anymore because I just totally avoid seed oils. Seed oils are everywhere. Like you buy anything, even like in a health food store, there's the healthy stuff, quote unquote. It's seed oils. And I actually did like a whole article on seed oils because I wanted to know exactly what was wrong with seed oils that made them so bad. And part of it is they're really high in omega 6s. So if you omega 6s are good to an extent, and that's where they got the whole they're heart healthy, yes. But really, if you don't have a balance of omega 3s and 6s, you should have I forget the ratio offhand. You should have a higher ratio of omega 3s to omega 6s. And if you're getting too much omega 6s and not omega 3s, literally, if you look up all of the side effects of having too much omega 6s, it's exactly what happens with seed oils. Like if you look up the symptoms of too many seed oils, the symptoms of too much omega 6 are the exact same. So on top of that, most of the seed oils are GMO. They're grown with a whole bunch of pesticides and chemicals and stuff like that. So, and they're all processed with a chemical called hexane. And this chemical called hexane is basically it's been tested as a liquid, or sorry, it's been tested as a gas. It's extremely toxic as a gas, but they've never tested it as a liquid. And it's processed with the liquids, and they don't even test the amounts that are in seed oils. So seed oils go to the shelves, and they have no idea how much hexane is in it. So it's just a big combination of all that. I totally avoid seed oils, and that makes a big difference. Like I said, avoiding processed foods. Don't eat
no, I mean no
fast food.
sodas, huh? No sodas, none like that.
Yeah, yeah, no sodas. Um, stop eating, using plastic. That's a big endocrine disruptor. So a lot of low T, guys, and estrogen with women's all messed up. How many women have messed up periods and all that stuff. Which those are a lot of little things, but really the biggest thing is just diet. Like for me, when I first started, it wasn't an overnight thing. Like I didn't have. If you have stage 4 cancer, you got to change things overnight. But if not, it's kind of a steady process. Like 1 week, you're going to take in one thing, like take out one thing, uh, cut out another thing. It's just kind of a steady process over time. Like the biggest thing I did was add in sprouts. If you're eating sprouts all the time, that is huge. Like if you just stop consuming seed oils, stop eating processed foods, and start eating sprouts, like that will be such a major change.
And this isn't just for the body. This is for the mind. Like a lot of foods out here mess with your mind and give you bad thinking, but a lot of these clean foods will help you supercharge your brain and clear your neurons.
Oh yeah,
Have you felt that?
yeah. Because once I got off the Wellbutrin, I was only on for like 2 years. It was like I was totally fine. Like I dealt with depression for at that point literally half my life, and I was basically to get off it just by cleaning up my body and eating healthy food. That alone was enough for me to be not depressed. Now, like I had so I didn't even get to this. I totally forgot about this. My work injury back in 2022, July 2022, I had a really bad work injury when I was working in the machine shop. I had a 3-ton metal block fall on my feet, almost lost my feet, totally crushed them. I broke like every bone. And at that point in my life, I never broke a bone, and I broke like every bone in my feet. So
And
that
both
was
feet.
honestly, my
Is-
right foot was worse than my left one.
Oh my god.
But yeah, broke both my feet, broke both my ankles. It was a miracle they were able to get this thing off me. But I spent like 2 weeks in the hospital, a couple surgeries. I didn't walk for 3 months. But when I got in the hospital and they put me under, I like I went like somewhere else. That's the only way I can really describe it. I was like in my mind, but I wasn't there in my body. And basically, I had this like thinking back on it now was like God talking to me or something like that, and basically saying that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, and this is going to be the start of the rest of the journey. Like this is like where things change, and they did. Like there was something about that where I stayed so positive after that. Like people were coming to the hospital, and I was calming them down. You know, I'm like in the worst pain of my life, and I'm just like, no, it's cool. Like this is fine. Everything will be fine. I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. I'm gonna be on to something better, and it all did work out. Like I spent those 3 months. I planned out my microgreens business because I really didn't want to go back to work. I didn't want to go back there at all. I kind of just decided I didn't want to go to a regular job ever again, really. And yeah, I spent that. Like I said, I made a whole business plan. I got all the things ready for the microgreens. I was going to go full stop on the microgreens, and I was like, it was that February that next year. I was getting close to having to go back to work, and I was still working with Tim. I was still taking the greens every day. I was taking a few other the products to help me heal, and Tim basically because I was always in the inner like there are inner circle group coaching that we have every Wednesday, and I would always answer all the questions because I like kind of studied under him. I listened to every podcast. I was always in the group coaching, and I was answering questions basically how he would have answered them. And he basically was just like, do you want to work for me and be the customer service guy? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. So that's where that kind of went. And everything kind of worked out towards that. And then I was able to make the microgreens my side business. But really working with him did a lot. It did a lot because I basically had a coach. I basically had a coach for 2 years and helped guide me through all of it, like what things to cut out, what things to put in, and just kind of there's so many little things, like light bulbs, like getting rid of LED light bulbs is like that's a minor thing, but it's like these things that stack up over time. There's a lot of things that stack up. There's not always like for some people there's going to be one thing where it's like that was the game changer. For me, it was just a continuous stack of different things that over time made such a big difference.
And what's probably something that you could recommend that's like the easiest thing to do to really kickstart this? I mean, for me, I think it was like the exercise and start going on walks, and then it really started clearing out my body and my mind, and then like the food with it, right? Like the exercise and food.
Yeah, definitely exercise and drinking a lot of water, clean water, and growing sprouts. Just grow sprouts in a jar. Like literally just get like a half-gallon mason jar. Go to trueleafmarket.com and get these because I was for 2 years I was growing sprouts and I was using cheesecloth and a rubber band. And it was frankly annoying because there'd be so many times where I'd go to drain them and the whole thing of sprouts would just fall in the sink and I'd lose some and I was just tired of it. But eventually I just spent the $5 per lid to get the stainless steel mesh lids. And it was such a game changer. It was so easy after that. Because literally the only problem with growing sprouts is draining them. If you don't drain them well enough, they go bad. That's the only time you're gonna mess it up. Besides that, it's super, super easy to do. But yeah, just growing sprouts because that too was like that was the first thing I ever grew. I never grew anything in my life up to that point, and it was that first jar of sprouts. I was like, this is it. Like just seeing the power of just watching it grow. Because I was still working in the machine shop, and it was like getting up every morning just to see it and see like, oh, how much did they grow, and just that little thing was so exciting.
What kind of
But
sprouts is it? What kind of what?
so when I first started with the jars of them, it was like alfalfa, mung beans, broccoli. Those are kind of the main three that I did when I very first started.
Yo, I'm sorry I'm yawning so much. I don't know what it is, but like literally I'm sweating. I have a headache. It's so strange. I'm listening in though. This is a weird feeling I'm under. Um,
Oh, good.
no, you're good. Yeah, man, the sprouts probably would help me right now. I'll be real.
Yeah.
Definitely. I know I've used sprouts like alfalfa and clover at my local store.
Mhm.
What's the difference between store bought sprouts and like homegrown? Have you found a
I,
difference? Is it
I've never bought home or bought store sprouts. I don't trust them,
you
frankly.
think they're genetically modified?
Not that it's genetically modified, but you don't know what water they're using. You don't know if they're using any weird pesticide or something like that. And I mean, I sell to a couple stores here locally, and it's like people see me at the farmers market. They know that I'm growing it right. It's kind of a I don't. I mean, I still buy stuff at the store, but I don't fully trust anything at the store. Like no matter what, you really can't. Even if it's something that's organic, it can still have stuff in it. You know.
Yeah, the organic laws are weird, and like there's some pesticides allowed in it still, and some poisons. It's so strange.
Yeah. And
Homegrown
even
is
then,
always the
like
best way.
even then, it's like where's it coming from? Like what else is on the truck that it's on, or anything like that. And it's like anytime you're growing something that's like or eating something that's local to you, even if it's grown by someone else locally, there's a big difference. There's a big difference. Yeah, that's when I started growing the garden a couple of years ago. I mean, gardening is great too. Just going out, get in the sun, like go out there barefoot, shirt off, nice summer day, and you're just out there in the garden working on it, like caring for the plants, pulling some weeds. Man, I mean, just being barefoot in the sun alone feeds you. Because if I go out there and I'm out there for like 2 hours and I'm just pruning plants and picking weeds and stuff, like I'm not hungry. Like I want to go and I don't really eat till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon usually anyway. I just kind of intermittent fast every day. But it's like so much easier to do that if I'm just out in the garden and just getting
I hear
sunlight.
I hear a lot about that being a helpful change in people's diets, like the eat from 10 a.m. to like 4 p.m. or something.
Yes, normally how I do it is I wake up in the morning and I take all my supplements and I take our greens. And then usually around like noon or 1, I do my fresh juice where I do like wheatgrass, which normally I do spelt grass now, just because I don't trust modern conventional wheat. Well, it's not conventional; it's still organic, but I just prefer spelt and pea shoots and sunflower, and that's like my little trio that I do every day. And then usually I eat around 2 or 3, and I usually have some fruit, some around that time, and then just have a big meal for dinner. And that's usually kind of it. But have a
All
big like
grass
microgreen
fed.
salad.
Grass fed. You eat meat.
Oh yeah, I eat meat.
Grass fed. Yeah, definitely. Farm raised, pasture raised.
Yeah, there's
Right.
some decent farms around here locally.
Pasture raised is the one that people want to buy, right?
Yeah, because pasture raised are usually at least grass fed, but you want to get grass fed as much as you can. I mean, a lot of people are like grain fed is better because they're the taste or whatever. I'm just like I just want a meat that's clean. Like it's steak. It's gonna taste delicious. Like the big thing is ground beef too. Like I don't buy regular ground beef. That's just a big no no. Like you can just whenever you've had ground beef that's like from a good farm, it's just that real dark red, and then you look at the stuff that's in the store and it's like a light pink.
Pink slime.
Yeah, the pink slime and all that stuff. Yeah, it's just gross. Like, and I always
You,
feel crappy if I have like a regular store bought ground beef.
you know what? There's been a lot of stories or questioned about is if these meats we're seeing at stores are lab made.
Yeah, like Walmart. I just don't buy food at Walmart. I don't trust Walmart. But yeah, it's you see a lot of weird stuff like the chicken that like pulls apart weird. It's like this just doesn't seem real.
Yeah, I mean, some of they're super gluing like meat steaks together and stuff.
Yeah, like they do a lot with seafood where it's like imitation crab. I mean, they at least tell you that it's imitation crab, but I've watched some like documentary on YouTube. It's just like all these seafoods that get faked, where they take like these cheaper fish and like color it and do mishmashes and stuff to make it look like this more expensive fish. And it's like, well, why wouldn't they be doing that with meat or other stuff, or like injecting the meat with all kinds of weird stuff even after the meat's cut, plump it up to make it weigh more, injecting stuff into it. It's what injections are they giving the cattle or the chicken? It's like there's a lot of stuff like that. Like I'm sure you've probably seen too, like a lot of people just popping up randomly allergic to meat now. It's like they
No,
say it's
I
like,
haven't seen that.
so there's supposedly people that are getting bit by this tick. I can't remember offhand because I haven't really thought about it for a while, but like people are just the people that love steak, they love red meat, and then all of a sudden one day they're just like highly allergic to it. Like if they eat any red meat, they just get super sick for like 3 days, and it's becoming a more common thing with people. I don't know if it's what they're putting in the red meat itself. I've heard it's a tick bite. I've heard a few different things, and it's hard to say for sure, but they're definitely because they want people to stop eating meat. There's a clear distinct, like clearly they want people to stop eating meat. This whole vegan push, a lot of the vegan food is absolute junk, like the fake meat and everything's loaded with just soy, which soy lowers testosterone levels significantly. So the term soy boy, it's a term for a reason. If you have a guy that eats a lot of soy their whole life, they used to become pussies.
It's estrogen. Yeah, the soy produces estrogen and a lot of those
Yeah,
compounds in it, so it makes people, act more like women.
yeah, yeah. There's so many little things like that they're doing with food. That's why I mean that's a lot of you see a lot of vegans like that. I mean for women it's not as big.
What I think about the meat thing is that it protects our brain's biology and protects our brain's frequencies, and so they don't want that. They want these people on the artificial and the veganism so that their brain frequencies are weak, so they can be manipulated.
Yeah, I mean there's definitely a way to do veganism right. Eat a lot of sprouts. Sprouted beans. Fresh garden veggies, stuff like that. You can do it right, but you know, I I I think that you can't really replace red meat in terms of protein and telomeres and all this other stuff in red meat that is just super good. Creatine, the creatine is really prevalent in red meat. Just stuff like that. You can't really replace red meat, but you got to get a protein source.
I mean, taking creatine though in the powder form is good, right?
I mean, as long as it's a quality source. I was taking it for a little bit. There is a decent plant-based protein or plant-based creatine, but you're really just best off just eating good quality red meat and getting it from that. That's really the best for you. So it's like
Uh,
a plant protein, like pea protein or pumpkin seeds. It's your body processes meat best when it comes to protein because not every protein is created equal.
what do you mean by that?
Like kind of like I said, it's just like I don't know exactly the full breakdown on like the chemistry of it, but our body's able to process meat proteins better and utilize them better than a plant-based protein like pea protein or pumpkin seed. So you get
While you talk about that, I'm scouring my books because I know I have a book that's very similar to this. So if you
yeah. Yeah. Like personally I'm not big on like protein powders and stuff like that. There's a few decent ones out there, but so many of them have like whey protein. Whey protein is basically as junky of a protein as you can get. That's why people like people that really work out and stuff, they always talk about like protein shits and stuff like that. It's like because you're taking a whole bunch of whey protein and your body can't process it because whey is essentially like dairy residue, like dairy, like just junk from dairy processing. And that came about because years ago they had so much of this extra whey from dairy processing that they're like, we have to do something with it. And they realized that, oh, it's high in protein. And then we just shove it and powderize it and throw it into protein shakes and stuff. And it's really just it's awful.
and what might this do to like our DNA or our heart and stuff like all these artificials and these ingredients that we should be consuming half the time?
Anything artificial or synthetic, man-made that was not created by God is going to interfere with how our body functions. period. So if it's not something that the body was designed to process, our body's not going to process it. And I mean, as far as how it's going to affect the DNA level, I can't say for sure. That's something that's a little above my understanding when it comes to it, but I know it is because your DNA is just memory. And if you're constantly taking in these things that are going to mess with the body, your body's going to have to adjust its memory and how it's going to take these things in. So, I
So
don't know.
like hypothetically, like I think that a lot of these artificial foods would create a lot of artificial thoughts and a lot of artificial
Yes.
frequencies and vibes and feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, anything synthetic, anything artificial. It's like like something things like celebrities and entertainment and all that stuff. It's very artificial. It's described as artificial. It's synthetic. It's not organic things we're taking in. Like it's not natural music. It's not natural tones. It's not natural frequencies. And like they said, all foods have a frequency. They all have a vibration. So something like sprouts or microgreens, they have a very high frequency, a very high vibration. So if you're taking that in, it charges your body with those high frequencies. If you're eating something like McDonald's, which is very low frequency, like it's so low frequency that mold won't even eat it. How is your body going to process this? That it's just not. It's gonna not know what to do with it. It's gonna store it in fat, throw it away, you know, whatever, and it's not going to benefit you in any way. That's for sure. Like you take in junk entertainment, junk food, you get junk. Like your body is just full of junk. They say you are what you eat. If you're eating a bunch of junk, then you're junk. I mean, how many people like I see people they even come to the farmers markets and like maybe it's just my area, I don't know, but people that come to the farmers markets that are like greatly overweight, clearly not healthy. Like they're not there to eat fresh produce. They're there to get treats and snacks and whatever else. It's just
Yeah, it causes mutations in the body, for
yeah,
sure. Like a lot of cancers, these diabetes, these all sorts of different issues, bone health issues. Because like when we have a natural set of compounds and minerals, a certain amount of proteins and amino acids, and there's A, B, C, D, E that can be binded with our body that our body naturally takes. That is healing us. But then when these artificial foods come out with C1, 3, 4, red 40, glyphosate, titanium, phosphate, bullshit, like these aren't bindable to our body. So just like you're gonna see what's the best way to describe this? A mutation. What is the best way to describe a mutation for everybody out there? Like hypothetically, like let's just say you take a magnet to a TV and you're fucking with the frequencies, you're gonna ruin it.
yeah.
And
Mutation is like I think I would describe it almost as like your DNA changing to kind of like figure out this input that you're putting in it. So like
or to completely destroy it. So
yeah,
it could just be a destruction. Because I mean, a lot of these foods and a lot of these medicines that are artificial, like, sorry about that. They have things in them that are not just chemicals. They have like viruses. They have like mixing with like snake venoms and mixing with all sorts of different things that are the medicines. These Ozempics, they're literally poisoning you. All sorts of stuff like this. It's actually like just straight up targeting and destroying the body. If we look even, and if we even look at like the medicine and the medical field over the last 6 years, 5 years, where we're forced to take a worldwide experimental thing, this thing's destroying us and artificially changing our rhythm. And it even says it in the actual technology, the mRNA. It can change
yeah,
your freaking body. Elon Musk is like, we could turn you into a butterfly if we wanted to. And these other guys like, well, what we want to do is change the human genome and make it fit to where we think humanity is going. And it's a strange aspect to see in real time. Everybody's mutated. A lot of people are mutated, and a lot of people are artificially mm, how do I say this? Are artificially stunted. They're not growing proper, and so it's actually challenging for themselves to even understand in this aspect, because like the pure thoughts of understanding these big ideas, let's just say ether and the akashic, and if we're in tune and we're on A, B, C, D chemicals that are natural, we're going to feel the akashic. We're going to feel the ether, the true thought, which is kind of the idea of like these artificial foods and these artificial medicines, giving people impure thoughts, messed up thoughts, because their thought bubble isn't going into the fourth, fifth dimension. It's actually going downward, spiraling downward into the first, the second, possibly where these entities have been dormant, possibly where these darker material, darker spiritual type of energies lay, right? And if we're even looking at how this is strange, I'm putting it together. God, okay, God like made us his perfect image. Okay, so in a state of happiness, in a state of peace, we are producing a very, very strong glow, a very bright, energetic state, a pure state, frequencies on fire. But then when we drink Monster, satanic. When we drink liquid death, satanic. When we drink McDonald's, which the rabbis say is possibly laced with human meat, satanic. And we do all this stuff, it's just spiraling people downward into the ether, into this. Man, it's always every freaking episode now I come out with, it relates back to Stranger Things, because freaking A, man, they are really, really telling us the truth with that one. Okay, like hypothetically, guys, let's just say that these foods, these drinks literally are what they say they are. When you go to Liquid Death and it says on the website, we have a satanic chant on this, and then you hear these rabbis say, well, we feed human flesh in this, they're not lying. They're part of some demon worship, some Kabbalistic type of stuff. The opposite of the tree of life. When we are supposedly thriving, glowing, our meditation is on point, our chakras are firing. We know that our energy patterns, our chi, our chi and our prana is blessed. We can feel, people can see our spirit. Well, guess what? People like us, we aren't blind to the darkness. When we see these people out here, they're on these drugs, they're on these foods, they're on this way of thinking, they're on those jibby jabbies. We can see
it in their eyes. You can see it in their eyes.
Yeah, you read my mind, bro. We could see it in their eyes. We could feel it in their body. We you know what? We even hear it in their words. Oh, you deserve to die because you didn't take a shot. Whoa, bro, we don't want that for you. Why would you say that to us? Like, okay, there's the darker spirit that lays within. Oh, there's a darker spirit that lays within, and it's becoming very apparent that when we're looking at the celebrities and they're saying, yeah, we're putting demons in you, we're putting this stuff in you, guess what it is? It's a very occultic aspect of life, but it's real all across reality, all across every freaking nation that's ever walked this earth. Every continent that's walked this earth has admitted these things, has admitted that our spirit is a very special light force. And when we start altering it, when we start belittling it, when we start diminishing it, it can get attacked. And like, let's just keep it real basic for everybody. Even in the Bible, when Jesus is walking through with Paul and the rest of the apostles, well, guess what? These people along the sides, they're like demon infested. I hate you, Jesus. But how? It's not the person. It's not the person. It's the spirit that lays within. Now, the food, all these things, you can feel it, guys, and you know it too, because, well, why is it that when these people out here 2 a.m. 1 a.m. and they are, let's just say, drinking buzz balls, they're eating McDonald's fries, they're doing a little bit of coke, and they're listening to this wicked music. They
It's
do
like a regular
some
night at a frat house.
right, but they do some dark, twisted shit. And they're like, ah, ha, ha, laugh about it. But they're going to jail, and they're smiling, laughing, ah, fuck you, cops. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, whoa, dude, like, have you lost your mind? Have you lost your spirit? And the answer is yes. It's a powerful spirit that we got, that we were blessed with, a powerful life force. And what sucks is that this Hollywood TV movies has actually made people forget that, because now it's like, oh, we are God. Oh, we're or even on
The original sin, man. It's the original sin that the serpent tempted Eve with. Like, eat the fruit and you will be as good. You will be as gods. And it's like, what do we have now in the New Age movement? Like, oh, you're literally God. You are God.
I've seen so many people spaz out on Instagram. I am a god. I am God. Like, what the like, God, like, I block. I'm like, I don't want that in my feed. It's and it's affecting the spirit, because okay, they're not God, but it's a demon in some. Because remember, just like Lucifer wanted to be like God. Then Lucifer brought the rest of his little minions and the rest of his little buddies, and guess what? All of those little buddies wanted to be like God too. They're like, oh, you know what, Lucifer? Shit, you think you're the one? Nah, I'm the one. And then you see why they're spread out all across these different nations. Semyaza, these I don't even know. I want to go ahead and keep on naming Horus,
Azazel.
Azazel, all these different creatures and beings and deities. What's the one that the white serpent from Aztec Mayan legend, Quetzalcoatl and stuff like that thing? Yeah. And then even there's a dragon named Madu for America, and in the original namings of America, the Masons pulled that name because it was passed down over the shamans. The shamans would be like, yeah, this is the land of Amaru. We would go to this temple and go to this pyramid. We would make the blood sacrifices, and these were the dark guys, and they would make the blood sacrifice. The dragon would come out, and it's the name is Ameru. So like Amaru, Amaruga, that's where America came from. It's a strong influence all across the world. We see the ley lines. We definitely see it. Even that stupid girl guy dragon queer god. I don't want to say his name, but we know who he is. The transgender queer goat god. That everyone loves.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. All these people, all these entities just want to be like, we're the best. Bow down to us.
Want to be worshipped. They want to be worshipped like God.
And they're sending out their little spirits into people. And what's even more prevalent is in history right now. You know what? You said you were kind of Romanian, like your last name's Romanian, and this is trickling in. So like Vlad the Impaler and this whole idea of like these guys and these family lineages saying, we are related to the fallen angels. We do demonic worship, and we come from the bloodlines of these guys. So these guys, these elites, these big time decision makers of the world, they're saying outright in the open, they're coming from the lineage of the devil. Then they forecast, well, we want to bring out the Antichrist. We want to bring out the end times. And then you look at who owns the foods. Well, it's the families that are saying this. Why are the foods damaging the people? Well, the families that are saying this, who are making the foods, are the different religion than the people that are serving us. So reality is being manipulated by the slave masters into, literally absorbing everything from the demonic occult that these guys are worshiping, and they're like just laughing about in their back room, like it's kind of like Trump right now. Everyone's all tackling him because that boy ain't a Christian. Damn right he ain't a Christian, and he's just taking our money. He's literally just sucking us up, sucking dry, like literally just Christian money's good, but I ain't Christian. And that's how it is with these Kraft cheese, McDonald's, Lay's, Pepsi, different things like that. Oh, I want to go one step bigger. Pfizer, Moderna. Oh, let me go bigger. PG&E. Who else? I want to fucking take them all on, man. They are manipulating our reality so hardcore, guys, and it's even in our phones. So if our phones, like I said from the start, they're destroying your cells. And if we look at cancer,
I think that's why they're called cell towers, man, or cell phones. Like they're designed for your cells,
right.
to destroy your cells, break down their cells. So they
That's
can't
right.
function right.
And I always love this reference. If we look at cancer just says a cellular death, right? It's a cellular death. They start getting pale. People start getting weak, start getting, psychosis. They start getting under the influence of, it seems like a attack of a darkness. Well, like, guys, it just doesn't have to be cancer. Like these foods, these phones, all of this stuff, it drains you to a sense where it makes you lose your light. In this, like, I know I'm right in front of a computer, but I spend a lot of my day out in the real world. Right in the morning, right when I wake up, I get a walk, and then I'm off to my day job, which is delivery driver. So I'm out there in the sun all day. Yes, I mean, I have to go into the stores and stuff, but hey, man, I want to be out there in the real world. Whenever, dude, I'm just thinking about like my life. This is an interesting aspect. From 18 to 20, 27, I was going in and out of jobs like factories, fields, just trying to make a buck. And I swear, like, I didn't really understand it to the fullest at the time, but I was on the right track. Every time I was in the factories, I just felt sick, felt cramped, felt annoyed. I would get headaches. I would just be off balance. And I wanted to be that strong guy, that that egotistical dude. Man, it ain't shit. Like, it's just, I'm just having a bad day. It ain't really the factory, man. It's like whatever, it ain't nothing. And then things started unraveling, and I was like, man, no, it's like really the light. The light that that they're pressing down blue light, and even LED light. Am I correct? Like a lot of these factories produce, like, they have strong, high flashing LED lights, which
LEDs or CFLs, fluorescence,
which is super bad for the rhythm of the body.
Oh yeah,
and
constantly flickering.
And then it's
Constantly.
the air conditioner inside producing this staleness that's not really oxygen fully. It's very cold, and
Plus whatever fumes from whatever machines and chemicals and dust
and then all the machines going into these frequencies, which is like very, very tricky to understand, guys. So when we're around a computer, we hear a little buzz. When we're around a car, we hear a little roar. When we're in a factory, there's all sorts of different things, but nobody knows nobody knows how that affects us for the most part, right? But, well, music, it's like music. It goes into the beta, the delta, the gamma, the alpha waves, and this alone, from the factories and those making all those different noises, these are messing with your brain's chemistry, your brain's rhythm. Actually, it goes even deeper. It messes with your electromagnetic rhythm, which is why you don't have the same sleep. You don't have the same patterns. Your energy isn't on the same tune, and your day just seems a little bit different than when you're outside of that job, because literally it's actually changing the electricity to it's like when we wake up right in the morning, the electricity that we are tuning in with the sun and the start of the circadian rhythm, that's harmony. But guess what? When we're in those factories, that's disharmonious. That is actually putting you on their time, putting you on their patterns. And if you want to have freedom, why are you going to be a slave to frequencies and rhythms of others? And we
especially
know
working
it
like a
too.
midnight shift or something. You're
We
working in
know
a
it.
factory, working midnight shift. You're really
You're selling your soul, man. I mean it too. Like, people need to start doing things for themselves, and and I understand it. Like, yes, people need to work, and if you do need that job desperately to feed your family, I'm not gonna hate. But if you're like still young and just like giving up and like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna do whatever. No, don't be like that, man. Do not be like that. Do not stick yourself in the dirt from the jump. Like these this changes everybody's life, and I mean it, because if our electromagnetic frequencies and our rhythm is off, well, that's going to have a very, very bad effect in the long run. For thousands of years, we have been on the circadian rhythm. For thousands of years, that also means that symbiotically, humanity has woken up together at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., when the chickens and cows all started mooing and chirping and whatever the F. We woke up, and in actual science to date, we know that humans read each other, and when they're by each other, we can feel each other, we can sense each other, we have similar thoughts, we have similar patterns and energy. But now it's all being manipulated. So these factories, well, who are they ran by? Who are they created by? Oh, the same slave masters. Yeah, these slave masters are trying to manipulate you out of their circadian rhythm. They don't want you waking up early enjoying that sunrise. They want you late, which is why they're pushing it. Taco Bell open late till 2 a.m. Then pushing all the youth to go clubbing, because now, okay, 100 years ago, 75% of reality, 75% of humanity was on that circadian rhythm. So that means the ether and the akashic and our thoughts were all in tune and harmony with each other. Now, guess what, guys? So it's 2025. Maybe only 35% of people wake up in the morning. Another 35%, they're sleeping in, and another 20%, they don't give a shit. They're just gonzos. They're done in a slumber for days. And now it almost seems like 50% of reality is on the same rhythm. 50% of reality is thinking in the correct page. And the other 50%, they're way off course. I'm not going to say it's left or right, Democratic, Republican, or a certain demographic. This is not what I mean. I mean just humanity in a general sense. People aren't aligning their thoughts to reality. People aren't aligning their thoughts to each other. Compassion has gone out the window. Even teamwork, and I mean this in a weird, like, I see this. I don't know exactly 100% how much teamwork people did 100 years ago, but I bet you it's more than now. I bet you it's way more than now, because now
People work against
everybody's
each other if they can make an extra buck.
everybody is
they're gonna
so
sell out.
competitive. Yes, it's all about, how do I make an extra buck over this dude? How do I look better than this? How do I get more likes than this guy? How do I the girls like, how do I get more likes than this girl? How do my tits get bigger than this girl? How do I get more popping? How do I get more famous? How do I get more clout? And everything is a competitive nature, because the rhythms of the computers and the rhythms of these cell phones and the rhythms of these satellites are telling you that. Your mama didn't tell you this. The chicken and the cow didn't tell you this. The tree didn't tell you this. Waking up in the sunlight didn't tell you this. It's the rhythms that are being manipulated, because, well, these technology experts, these military grade experts, these big wigs in Masonic societies and governmental operations, they aren't for us, man. They are not for us, dude. I need to take I just been talking for like 10 minutes in a row, bro. Let me take a quick breather. So yeah, continue on though that train of thought, man, right there.
Something that you were talking about earlier that I wanted to go back on. I'm sure you heard of this back when the vaccine was the bigger deal back in like 2021. The VMAT2 gene, where it's supposedly like the God gene, the gene that connects us.
So
to God.
the VMAT2 gene was manipulated 100,000 years ago, and it is actually speculated that it has been manipulated around the same time that Sumerian text said that one of their leaders implanted the spirit gene into us. Now, I don't necessarily know if it's an implant or if it's a manipulation of the spirit gene. The VMAT2 gene is by far the spirit gene, though, where it is known as the gene that makes us have faith. It is known as a gene that makes us unite and love and pray and think of a much higher entity and deity to find that essence. Correct?
Yeah, basically. And I've heard that people when they got the COVID shots, because that was a part of it, like before the COVID shots came out, that like these shots were going to remove the VMAT2 gene. Like they're talking about that, and people that I've heard stories of people that got the COVID vaccine that afterwards they basically said they couldn't feel God anymore, like they were just disconnected, which is interesting because there's a lot of people that thought the vaccine was the mark of the beast, which that is like that's the cutoff. Like you take the mark, you're cut off from God basically. You're not one of God's people.
I could see that, man. I could see that. So, I was in the military, and dude, like, I didn't lose my sense of God. I don't think, but like,
You probably injected with a whole bunch of shit.
right, right in the start, they injected us with 13 shots, and dude, I just felt different. I felt like alien, and I understand that if you're saying that. Where did you hear that they wanted to target the VM? Was it from people or from like professionals?
I think it was a mix of both. Like it was on. I think it was in one of like the tinfoil hats back in the day. But the dude had like a reference from one of these like so-called elite people that was talking about the VMAT2 gene.
Yeah. So, if it's around the same people, I think it is. It's like, um, the NASA heads, the World Economic Forum heads. These guys, they're very open with technology and the medicine side, where they go into the genome aspect and the reason they would want to target the VMAT2 gene right now is absolutely crucial. Because this is
If you
shaking
cut
me.
people off from God, it's like they have no faith. They have nothing to live for. They're just going to
Bro.
accept blindly whatever they present.
And it's a very special thing now because ever since like the 1990s or 1980s, these big time decision makers have literally been saying they are going 100% at making plans happen to bring about the antichrist and end times. So
They're
when
using
we
the Book
look,
of Revelation like as a playbook. I don't know if it's
it is.
prophecy being fulfilled or if they're just fulfilling it because that's how it's written. Like they're
Yeah.
using it as the playbook or something. But
And
they're making it happen. They're making it
and,
happen.
and you know what's interesting, I'm putting it together, like, hypothetically, if this three eye atlas is
Be today, right? Well, today for me, tomorrow for you.
no, technically, yeah, it's from right now to December, which is strange because this is, dude, it's so strange because Stranger Things season 5 actually comes out throughout the same period of this whole three eye atlas thing, right? Okay, anyways, if this three eye atlas is an entity, is a craft, is a different type of demonic type of being, or if it's Roswell, if it's the people that were in touch with the government since Roswell and who made the Greeted Treaty, I could see exactly why they needed a manipulation of the spirit, because now people are seeing drones. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, it's UFOs, entities. What has always been the one thing that has reassured us when in a time of trouble? Taking a deep breath, praying, listening to God and that inner spirit, and knowing that peace. Well, people can't do that anymore, and I could see that too, because people don't even know how to like be chill or calm anymore. They like at the stores sometimes, like I can just hear people flip out for nothing, like they have no sense of grounding or spirit. Like there's no compassion or no love or no second thought, like, hey, like maybe I shouldn't be a rude asshole or something like that. Like people's switch is just, it's, there's no switch. They're gone.
Yeah. They just have no like it used to be seen as like no filter, but they have like it's more than like just just say whatever, but now they're just like they do whatever. They're just totally led by whatever demons puppeting them or something. Like
Definitely, well,
you just
definitely,
look at
right?
people and how they act, and it's like I don't even
So
know what I have no idea what you're doing. They don't even know what they're doing. They're just acting. They're not thinking.
This is where like the UFO field and the extraterrestrial field comes in. So, I love this because I'm
think extraterrestrials are just demons.
Yeah,
I don't even know. I don't even think
yes,
really
yes.
space is real. I think it's.
Dude, listen.
I think it's a much bigger thing than people coming in on a craft. You know, there's much crazier stuff going on than that.
Yes.
I was back to like Aleister Crowley. Like Aleister Crowley channeled these beings, and one of them called Lamb, and he drew it, and it looked exactly like a gray alien. And then all of a sudden, what do you have? Not too much later, Roswell, and all of the '50s propaganda comic books talking about aliens and alien invasions. Like they seeded that
the
big
demons.
time.
It is the occult. So when we look at who's running this, these guys are the old school archaeologists of the satanic temples. These guys are going out and different places. These guys are going around the world into all the old archaeological sites too, and they're pulling out the occult knowledge. They're using it to channel these fallen angels, these fallen entities, to bring them about, to literally summon them, like Roswell, like the Greta Treaty. Like the idea of the aliens, it's such a blanket term that it's tricked humanity into forgetting angels and demons, and that we can actually see them and feel them and hear them. It is should we take like a quick little like 3-minute break real quick and come right back?
I just had to plug in my laptop. I'm all good.
Yes, I want to freshen up on some water real quick while this topic is hot. I'm gonna let's just take a quick little 3-minute break. I'm gonna run a commercial.
All right,
and it's gonna be UFO.
Not new, what I do. I've been at it for a minute, pursuing, doing the damage new. I would do everything that I said I would do. I gotta have it, so goddamn it, I'ma be everything I plan to be. Glad to see money coming my way, believe I'll achieve anything I put my mind to, or at least I try to. I'm avoiding my doom, manifesting my room. Meditate to ease the flow. Third eye open, see the golden energy. It can enter me, get me to feeling full. Forget my enemies, dead to me, yeah, I proceed to go to a new dimension. Gotta mention it's inside a soul. Go inside, fuck the outside. Never tell lies, show pride for belief. Gotta keep the range wide, so instead I just write another hit. Getting fried, rolling up, smoke another blunt for the good times. Bad times makes for the good rhymes, so it never matters. I just learned, no, I can't hide. Thank God for every second was birthed with the mind of an ancient soul who's just waiting for the next sign. I'm always watching, vision like a hawk, have 'em flocking. When I drop it, I'm talking, have 'em knocking. The knowledge that I'm dropping, I'm coming out the noggin, I'm logged in. That's the intuition, nothing wrong with doing what you feel is right. Everybody got this. Usually feel it in the night when I'm dropping knowledge. Never even needed any college, abolish people telling people what they want. I do not wish control over anybody, do it for the profit. That's the reason that they push it, do it from the cockpit. Cause they got the money, want the money on the mob shit. On the mob shit, but I know they ain't gon' make it, shit is poppin'. At the end of time, new age topics. Revolutionary crusade cross, here we go to a new space. Yeah, we enter in a new place. Louis V on my shoelace, rolling with the blue face. Yeah, I'm wondering what you chase. Just another dude caught up in the rat race. Moving my pace, lot of people looking at me sideways. I chase future preparations, gotta go through my face till I feel ready to rearrange it. Happen on a daily basis, tripping oasis. When so many people that I can see through their faces and touch, so I'm reading minds, feel like I'm evasive, persuasive. Cause I feel the vibe, manipulation, I'm patient. Yeah, I feel the vibe, then work to change it. Manifestation, blessings is what I'm chasing. Quantum physics, I'm about to take the time and rearrange it. I play with reality, can't feel like I'm basic. Most people shut it down, don't wanna embrace it. Replacing knowledge.
All right. So, I wanted to bring this back, like to the point where I studied the UFO and extraterrestrial field, and yes, it is a lot of angels and demons.
Mhm.
But there's these things that I'm very interested in. Like people talk about walk-ins, people talk about getting abducted, people talk about being genetically modified on. People talk about having an angel guide or some type of reptilian around them and
Spirit guides. Spirit
different
guides
things like that.
are always some sort of demon thing going
Well,
on.
it could be an angel too. We really don't know, because if Archangel Michael is right by us and he doesn't know, and someone doesn't know that that's Archangel Michael, they're gonna just say whatever it is. They're like, "Oh, it's a spirit, oh, it's a demon." But people, it, we don't know until we know exactly 100% what that spirit is. Correct? But to interlace this, so
In the Bible, it just says you got to test the spirits.
that's right. That's
If
right.
they're
That's what I'm
not, if
saying.
not of God, they're not.
Yes, but
Yeah,
there's a lot of spirits of God, which are angels. What
Yeah.
I'm saying.
exactly.
So in the extraterrestrial field, like this all started early 1900s when, yes, Aleister Crowley and a lot of these occult magicians started doing some satanic rituals, sex rituals, and bringing about some deities and entities. Well, okay, then it goes on with the Greta Treaty. The Greta Treaty is supposedly where our government makes a deal with some of these
Is that the one
extraterrestrials.
with
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Never heard about the
Right around the time of Valiant Thor actually appearing on the
that
White
dude?
House.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's like so un undeniable. Like who is Valiant Thor? You could see that dude's an
right.
alien or
Yeah.
Venetians.
Something.
He ain't human. And this dude, there's recordings of him. He's talking. There's video of him. So the Greta Treaty, our government has to make a deal. These guys are demon worshippers, first of all. So they do some rituals out in the desert, Roswell and Epstein's bases and Tom Ford bases and Galactic Richard Branson base. And wow, I don't know why they're all right by each other, unless they're all in the same. These guys are pulling out the entities. Well, then they make a deal with them. What the entities or the demons want? Well, we need blood, we need plasma, we need organs, we need people. We need to manipulate and test on these people. And this is where all these genetically modified ingredients come from.
Mhm.
So we start seeing the manipulation of the matter. We start seeing the manipulation of the medicine, the mRNA. It's like manipulating the DNA. We start seeing the mutations. And with that, we hear the old ancient tale. Are parasites demons? So they're putting parasites inside of us through the snake venoms, through these other type of things. Well, so that might be they're putting demons in us. So we start being manipulated, changed, the rhythms start changing, we start feeling different. Now, some people actually have a DNA strand of the fallen angel demon, of this infestation, this worm, this parasite like thing, entity that's been ancient. It's a prosaic, ancient worm type of parasite, but
Talk
we
about
can.
the Hydra,
I
the
don't
Hydra
really.
vulgaris,
It's
in the
something
COVID show.
interesting. I don't know exactly the names, but yes, you might know more names. But yes, definitely there's some type of illness, darkness that comes in, people now over the last 50 years. And well, it's then in the rhythms and the music. Why? Tell me, why would they need to take the music out of 432 hertz? But they there's no reason. They want to put us out of harmony. They want to make us not hear peace. They want to make us hear war. So everything about us starts getting manipulated. Well, then people over the last 50 years, they start saying, man, I'm seeing these entities, I'm seeing these UFOs, I'm feeling this walking, I'm feeling this, I'm an alien, I am now part, I'm feeling like I got this reptilian right by me, or I got this draconian, or I got this and this and that. People are starting to turn into cats. People are starting to turn into dogs. So all sorts of weird shit, because
Yeah.
of the spiritual influence inside of them from these entities who aren't human. They're manipulative. They're sub what's the words I'm looking for? Subversive, to like to subvert you, right? To
Yeah.
pull you away from. That's what these guys are doing. Um, the extraterrestrial field with these walk-ins, which is why it seems like, as when you kind of mentioned, someone took the shot, and then it's like a complete change of spirit, a complete change of mentality, a thing like that. And some people would even say, and some people actually do say, and they think that they're correct on it, I am now another being inside of me. I am two beings in one.
It makes you wonder why the people like the trans people like the they them.
That is
Like
Legion.
yeah, Legion. Like in the
It's this
Bible,
darker
many
spirit. This
demons. Yeah.
it is. It's this very deep rooted kabbalistic thing. So like I was mentioning the tree of life. We have these chakras and our energy that flows upward and beautiful. It's we can feel it. We can if you're in some of these like doctors buildings and they have certain devices, they can see your spirit. They could see your electromagnetism through the
The
spectrography.
Crillian photography.
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
Yes. And well, I imagine that these people who are completely on the artificial stuff, they have very low
Oh yeah.
Crillian energy. Um
They
and
hover around. Kinda.
that's where these other spirits and things come in, because when we have a very fulfilled density, not much can really come in and establish. But when our spirit and our body and everything starts getting less dense, and it starts getting very thin, and then these people start feeling and looking very skinny, and they even say, I don't feel anything, like I feel cold, I feel this, like they don't feel shit, because they're completely losing their energy, their chi, their prana. It's being sucked downward. And once it hits the ground zero point, something else can come in, which is where I think these walk-ins and things are coming in. I think a lot of these vaccines and these foods are literally manipulating another spirit into it, which is kind of why I love the idea of Stranger Things, because like something's happening to these kids, the youth, even the adults around us right now, and they don't see it, but some of us with the light, we see it. and
Yeah.
and we know that. And it sucks, man. It sucks, because there's a lot of good people out there who have the wrong thoughts, and they want to fight you over it. I don't. I just want to talk, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck, I can't even get through to them, because
Yeah, those people that just they don't want to hear it. They just like they instantly like lash out at
it's the
you.
spirit. It's not
Yeah.
even them. It's that spirit within them, that because they have gone so long over the last 10 years of listening to the news saying, you guys are the problem, the youth is the problem, the Americans are stupid, Americans are lazy, Americans are dumb. It's like belittlement, to where a lot of adults, a lot of even kids are like, I have no shot, might as well do OnlyFans. I have no shot, might as well just sell drugs and crack.
Demoralize. There's been a lot of demoralizing
That's it. It's
to the point where
demoralized.
you think you have to do OnlyFans or you got to do this or whatever low frequency thing out there that you think you got to do because you think you have no other option.
And that's where the spirit attachments come from. Once they're at a certain low frequency, they're demoralized to the point where they're not even them true self. Because if I'm thinking correctly, if I really understand how God gives us all a mission, our heavenly fathers, our ancestors, our angels, our angelic guides, guardian angel gives us a mission, gives us an energy, a pathway, and it's going upward with light and love. But then when these other influential things, the Monster Energy drinks, the Liquid Death, the McDonald's, the Cardi B, shake your ass and fuck, steal their money, fucking, because yeah, that's what she came out in an interview one time, and I'm never gonna forgive her. She came out in an interview one time saying, "Yeah, I used to be a stripper, and I used to drug niggas and rob
Yeah.
them. I used to
Yeah.
rob them." I'm like, "Mm,
Just telling you,
ah."
like you're.
And yeah, so once all this interplays with the person, these people are out of their will, under the control of another spirit, man.
You know, like how they take when they make these records and stuff like that, especially those big ones like that, like Cardi B or whoever whatever other horror, they take these records, these masters, and they go pray over them. Like they do these like satanic rituals over them, and like basically infuse this demonic energy into the master track. Like that's what they're doing, man. The music is. We've talked
Yeah,
about it multiple times. Like the music is like number one, man.
and it's because the people who
Lucifer
own-
was the musician. Lucifer
no,
was
I
the
don't think
musician
that.
in
I don't think that at all. Because in a lot of the ancient tales, it says that music was made from the firmament, and yes, Lucifer was at the firmament, but all the other angels still play music, which is why if you look down in South America, a lot of these tribes say that they got icaros, and they hear the heavenly, they hear the heavenly music from above when they're in the peaceful states, and they know like the difference, and it's still being passed down, and the songs are still being played, because like Lucifer wasn't the only angel or the only cherubim or the only seraphim, and I don't believe God wouldn't stop creating one or other to replace him. Be like, oh fuck! After about 1,000 years, well, shit, you know what? I got time. Might as well build another one. Damn, but guess what? The occult wouldn't let you know that. The occult wouldn't let you know that God still has it under control. So the people who own the music, the executives and the record label owners and things like that, they come from the Kabbalist side of lineage, and you know, I hate to say it, but they're Zionists, and some of them have that Judaic man, Chabad Ludovich origins, where they practice ancient mysticism of the Kabbalah. And so what they do is that they also, it sucks to say, but they look at Lucifer like a friend. They do, which is why the musicians, they do, and the movie producers, they do. They all say it. They're like, well, fuck, you know, I sold my soul to the devil. I'm happy, made a meal, you know, things like that. It's because the people who are at the top making the money, making the decisions, doing these rituals on the CDs, they come from the lineage of the religion that is against us. Well, just kind of how I've been mentioning this whole episode. And you know, these musics that we are listening to, straight up possessive.
Well, you know, like you know, the classic example of like Beyonce, where she even says like when she's on stage, she's someone else. That Sasha Fierce entity or whatever, like just takes her over. It's
Yeah,
like, you don't think that's happened with more of these musicians? It absolutely is.
It's even Nicki Minaj, she calls herself Roman Reign. All these other musicians, they say they have an alter ego that comes out and plays for them. Well, not all of them, most of them, but there
Those
are
big
still,
pop stars.
yeah, there still are some pure musicians, you could tell.
Not as many. They don't make it big. They're not big ones like that.
Well, I think that's where the spirits come in. So like, if it's kind of weird, but if humanity is attached to some type, if let's just say 10% of humanity is attached to some dark demonic spirit, well, shit, when the record labels put out a song that's intertwined with a ritual of that same dark demonic spirit, shit, 10% of the population be like, just gonna fucking float to it. Oh, hey, look, it's my friend. Oh, you know, they're gonna be like, I love this music, but it's just the spirit that's kind of getting them attracted and addicted in a sense. Mm-hmm. Do you watch Stranger Things? You like Stranger Things?
I watched through it. I haven't like. I
Have
don't
you
really
watched it
watch a lot of. Yeah, I watched it all. I don't really watch a lot of TV shows and movies just to sit down and like watch through things multiple times. But I know it's interesting. My kid was really into Stranger Things for a little while.
Like
Like
it almost seems like
I didn't even know they were coming out with season 5. So
oh, dude, this is gonna be a crazy one. I mean, the only reason I really love this is because it has so much truth in it. You know, the Project Montauk.
Season 1 was really good. Like I was really interested in season 1 when it came out.
All of it,
Montauk and everything.
Yeah, Project Montauk, the base that they're at, that's real. The underground labs that they're trying to break through a dimension to open up to get to a demon, a spirit, That's what CERN's doing. Over there in Russia, where they have that the bottomless pit with the demon in it, that's from ancient tales. That's Apollyon, because Apollyon is he's locked in an abysmal pit, and then it's kind of weird in a sense. Supposedly, the old temple of Apollo is right there in Geneva, Switzerland, and CERN says that they built on the old Temple of Apollo, and the old Temple of Apollo says that it was the abyss for Apollyon. So these guys are literally on the abyss of Apollyon, and so they're in. These CERN guys are like, yeah, well, we're doing we're messing with the matter. We're breaking through the portals, and we're opening up dimensions, and we're talking to entities. So they say that.
Yeah, that's what they admit. That's what they admit. So who knows what else is going on?
Well, it's a revelation of the method. Some of these guys are so scared about what they're seeing. They're like, shit, they kind of have to admit it so they don't feel so bad. You know what I mean? Because like that's their ideology, and it's like they think that it's gonna clear them from going to hell or some shit. It's dumb. The Stranger Things, it's like it's more than even just that. Like this whole idea of the 11, the child, she has psychic powers, or she's being manipulated to have psychic powers, or they're manipulating her under government projects. That's all real. This is real stuff, like with Project Montauk and the Stargate program. And then even like going into the Upside Down. I didn't really put it together, but I now absolutely wonder when Graham Hancock, he went on Joe Rogan's about a year or two ago, and he broke down how, is it London, Berkshire, one of these famous prestigious colleges over there in Europe. They are doing studies with the DMT world. And so what they do is that they've made a super DMT. DMT is usually only lasts like 15 to 30 minutes. Well, these guys, these college university professors have synthesized a ultra DMT so that it could last 4 to 6 hours. And they're having hundreds of trained professionals, probably military, probably.
That's just ayahuasca? Because ayahuasca lasts like 8 hours.
No, this is DMT. This is
Like
this is a super DMT. They concocted this to make it a super DMT so it can last 4 to 6 hours. So these guys are in the DMT trip for 4 to 6 hours. And this is a university study that they have people, they have professionals mapping it out. They have the scanners on them. So these guys are there for 4 to 6 hours mapping out the DMT world. And the DMT world is said to shown like geometry shapes, entities, elves, kind of show the inner workings of our reality in a sense. And this university over in Europe is saying that they are trying to map it out and remember it, and so that they can go in and play with it. But I wonder, what is the DMT room? Is that hell? Is that this underworld? Is that
second heaven or something?
Yes. So because labeling it the DMT world is just a blanket term, like aliens. It is a real realm that's already existed. But what is it now? Because we've heard heavenly realm. There's Akashic realm. There's the demonic realm and things like that. I imagine that it's taken us to one of those realms, and these guys are out here literally just like in the Upside Down. They're trying to fucking see something. They're going and battling something, and which is why shit, man, this is interesting. My brain is a book of knowledge right now. Have you ever watched the movie Spectre? Spectral. It's on Netflix. You should watch it. So on there, the military builds crazy technology that these guys, the military is using. I don't know what it is really. They're using some advanced technology to fight aliens or entities or spirits or something. So this military group goes in and clears out a base of like some spirits, spectrals. They call it spectrals, like demon spirits, aliens, entities, archons, something like that. So in the movie Spectral, they have the technology, and it's based on the idea and the ancient theory. Not ancient, fucking dumbass. It's a 100-year-old theory, the Einstein Bose condensate, so that like in a vacuum, there's these different layers of densities, or there's these different layers of densities, and because of the entity's density, we can't see it here in our density
Yeah.
until we change things. I don't know. It's really strange. It's much bigger, nerdier. Trying to say the Bose-Einstein condensate, but it's in the movie of Spectral. Now it's the same thing with this fucking Stranger Things. These guys are literally going out into this place, which is same exact reason why in the 1970s when Vietnam started coming around, they had the starlight scopes. These guys built already. They've had these technologies. They're not telling us exactly where they're taking them, CERN, but they're there. These starlight. Remember the starlight technology? Have you ever heard of that? The starlight scope.
I think I have.
So the starlight scope, it was based on the Dicenian glass, made by Kilmer way back in the early 1900s. And so the Craciun glass was pretty much, you could see like Dicenian glass, you could see the Craciun energy, you could see the spiritual energy, you could see the like I don't know, you can see the essence of the person. And the military in the 1970s, they took this to Vietnam, and all of their special forces, their main guys, said they fucking don't want these. They fucking went crazy.
All kind of entities.
Yeah, they said they were losing their minds.
They look at the sky with it and see craft and spirits and all kinds of stuff going on, just all over the place.
Which is why a lot of the people from Vietnam came back messed up, and I think my grandpa came back too from it, and it was just things it was just weird for everybody over there in Vietnam. It wasn't just the Agent Orange fucking with people. These guys were like playing with spiritual technology, and that's kind of where Stranger Things is like showing us. They're showing us that these technologies and these things have been reoccurring for the last so these operations have been reoccurring for the last 100 years, and I think this is the best show to tell humanity what the fuck is happening. It's like all in one, because it even goes back to freaking I love talking about Stranger Things. I don't know why, man. This is the last bit of episode. We're gonna call it after this. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna have a Nick on again. This is definitely a blast. But in Stranger Things, fucking the Hellfire Club, that's based on that's real too.
Yeah, I've seen people say like it was actually it's like they're putting it down, and Ben Franklin was actually like the good guy, and it was actually a good thing or something. I don't know. They always like to invert things, but
oh no, dude, Ben Franklin had bones under his body. I mean, bones under his house, like human bones, chicken bones.
Yeah, I heard that, but who knows? But it's one of those things that's like so far back. It's like, how do we know what's even true? Like anything past like 100 years, even in the last 50 years, like how much do we really know that's actually true? History's been so twisted.
Well, I mean, we hear about the orphan trains, and we know that these slave master families would take the kids. They would sometimes abuse them. They would take the finer teenage women. They would misuse them. They would take the middle-aged men and beat the shit out of them. And yeah, like
1800s. There's a lot of weird stuff with the 1800s. I mean, I went deep on Tartaria a couple of years ago, man, and it was like, even if it's not like Tartaria, even if there wasn't this advanced global civilization, there is some weird stuff. Something happened in the early 1800s. Something that like reset history.
I think it was the mud flood and all of the
for sure
the electromagnetic. From what I heard, I think it was I think Crow 777, where he talks about how there was like an electromagnetic storm, and it made everything flood
well, there's the Craciun event in like 1855. Around that time, but it was kind of before that. It was like 1825 where things really like we don't really know much before that. Like everything before that was like repeated, and And I'm sure you heard the whole like they added like 800 years of history thing.
No. What do you
You haven't
mean?
heard that?
So
So like, you ever see those old coins where it's like it looks like an eye, so it's like 1452, but that first it looks like a one. If people say it's a one, but it's
yeah,
actually an
is it
eye.
kind of like the same thing with the buildings when we see on top it says the MX and then the MV
Yeah,
and it? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, kind of like that, where it's like basically this idea that they added 800 to 1,000 years of history, and just basically to make to think us we're like farther from Christ or something. I don't. It's one of those things that you have to. I'm not fresh on it right now, but
But it's just
there's something to it.
so
It definitely
um
messed with history, like 100%. In
I
that
I
regard.
have this thought that when the Knights Templar and these guys were coming over with Christopher Columbus and all this, like this, that the whole between the 1400s and the 1800s, as you were saying, there is some mysterious shit because, like, um, these guys say they wanted to travel to a new world, but they're not telling you how. They're not telling you what. I think that in some way there were some portals open or something because I know even early in the 1900s stargates were researched and a lot of the archaeologists were already headed directly to find all the ancient stargates. They had recovered some. So that means in the 1800s these guys were doing the same thing. In the 1700s they were trying to figure out where, which is why Lewis and Clark expedition came to Washington State because, from what I know, George Washington himself and the other cult masons, they wanted the secret knowledge of the sky people and the natives here, which were about the sky people. So they wanted to know why there was some sky people interacting with our tribes. They wanted to know where the remnants of the giants were inside of our mountains, and I think much more magical things because um we we don't know what they found. When we look at the pyramids, the Stonehenges all across the world, we don't have the artifacts. If Indiana Jones is kind of telling us the truth, which I think it is, these guys have already uncovered a lot of this shit.
Yeah,
And
Smithsonian. That's what the Smithsonian was like created for, was covering up all the stuff like the Egyptian artifacts found in the Grand Canyon and all the giant bones all over the place. Like Ohio has actually had the most giant skeletons found in the entire United States. Is Ohio.
yeah,
And
Serpent's Mound and all of them.
Silver Mountain, from what I understand, it's on the way opposite side of the state. It's like 6 hours away from me, but that's one place I've really, really wanted to go to because I've heard it's like way, way more energetically strong than something like Stonehenge. Stonehenge is like dead. Stonehenge is like nothing. It's not what it originally was. But Serpent Mound, there's something very, very powerful about Serpent Mound.
I,
It's just that you
I
can't see. You can only see it from the sky. You're on the
right.
ground. It's just like a big hill. You have no idea what's going on. But there's something energetic about it, though. It's different.
Yeah, all across the world, I believe that the remnants of our ancient ancestors are here, and they left geographical markers. And these geographical markers are like Stonehenge, like the pyramids of Giza, and things
There's
like that. But
pyramids in every continent. Every
right,
continent has pyramids.
right. And these guys left them with energy implanted in them. As we know, the Pyramid of Giza is has remnants and detailings of it being a power, having some type of power source. And when we look at the Bosnian pyramid, it actually is active. When we look at the Temple of Malta, there is incredible energy that is produced through that healing energy, actually. Then even in some of the pyramids down in Mexico, South America, these guys, these tribesmen, stay still to this day. You can take seeds in there, and these seeds are going to be perfect. They're going to be ready to grow, and they're strengthened, fortified. Everything that you take inside of these pyramids are fortified and strengthened, and you can heal. You can heal your body from from like cancers and pains and things like that if you were in there long enough. And so these things are the energy is left. It's still here. It's just not a lot of it. It's remaining, but there's a lot of artifacts that are missing. You know, hypothetically, Ark of the Covenant. Some of these things.
Even something more modern, like the bells, like those ancient big bells. Like
Those
that's
were
like
ancient
supposedly related.
technology.
They're like supposedly related to Tartarian and like how all these bells were just destroyed in the early 1800s, and they supposedly had like healing of effects and stuff.
Yes, the harmonious effect. So what I my understanding about those bells were is that they were all across the world and they produce a healing frequency like a 432 hertz or 528 hertz or something like that. A very, very harmonious frequency that's found in nature, and it's very healing. But like then they started
Ancient
replacing
cathedrals, like the ancient cathedrals and like the organs. Like there's a reason they were called the organs because they healed your organs based on certain frequencies and like
that. We can't even recreate the organs today. They're
no.
so perfect, they're so pristine, they're so magical. Because our ancient ancestors understood magic. This whole idea of magic being a dark word, it's like magic is just a science. Magic is literally just a science that most people can't understand or explain. And yes, there's like some, people, David Blaine doing demonic magic. I think, you think, you familiar with David
Oh,
Blaine?
yeah, oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's doing demonic magic. What do you think?
Doing something. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't.
He's interacting
haven't
with
been-
something, I think.
Yeah, I don't. There's something weird with him for sure. He always gave me kind of a weird vibe. I haven't really
Yeah.
thought about him in a long time. But what was he doing? Like freezing himself and doing all kinds of weird stuff.
Killing himself. That dude should have died fucking 10 times, bro. I swear. I mean, because if you go on YouTube, you can see like all of his greatest stunts and multiple of them. And dude, there's just insane. You can, yeah, it's just weird. So there's people out there doing that type of dark magic, but there's like definitely a more lighter type of just passive stuff like being in the pyramid or being in Stonehenge on the solstice day and feeling that embalming energy of like power of the universe, right? If everything is coordinated on that solstice or the equinox, well, that's there's only 4 days of the year that have that type of energy. And when we're in these buildings and structures, we're feeling those level of four energies, which is like perfect alignments energies, which is like very harmonious to us. And
I think a lot of these things too were actually created in worship of God and not worship of these other entities. Like there's a lot of them that were.
Oh no,
created
for sure.
worship of
It was a lot,
entities.
sacred geometry is what they call it, brother.
Yeah.
So they call it sacred geometry because we understood the sacred sciences of mathematics and things like that from I think in some essence humanity was not only taught by fallen angels. I think humanity was also taught by angels, which is why in the Bible it says Archangel Michael appeared and things like this, because like they had to have, and they taught us some stuff like sacred geometry, growing veggies, things like this, natural, simple stuff. But to look back just a little bit, like the technologies that they found, the technologies that they supposedly are finding and had, right? Ark of the Covenant, some of these magical items that could change reality or cause a portal or time slip, things like that. I imagine that that was what's happening over the last 500 600 years here in America, especially around the time that you're saying like 1700 1800, where something happened. It's almost like,
What if they were messing with these technologies and they messed up? They used them wrong or used them incorrectly and they just destroyed things. Almost like we could do with, I mean, I don't know if nukes are even real, but I don't think they are. But like supposedly some sort of they misused the technology in some way and it basically destroyed society.
that's the ancient theory of Lemuria and Atlantis, where millions of years ago that these guys actually built reactors and things like that, and they blew themselves up. But I was thinking like we'll know. What if these guys got some technology over the last 100, 200 years, right? Nazis, they went down to Antarctica. What if they got some technology there? We know Eric Hecker. Eric, have you familiar with Eric Hecker?
Probably. What did he do?
Eric Hecker is the guy. He's the whistleblower, talking about the technologies down there in Antarctica. I've had him on my
Oh yeah.
podcast.
Oh
Yeah.
really?
So
Go ahead.
yes. I've listened to him quite a bit, and so he states, and other scientists state, and those videos of the pyramids and things. I don't think they're fake. So he states that there's a lot of technology down there. There's like these ancient technologies. People speculate like black pyramids under
The Nazis
Antarctica.
were interested in it for a reason. They had to be.
Right,
They were into
cold-blooded.
everything occult. Everything
Right.
occult they were interested in.
So I think around the 1800s, 1900s, when these groups of Zionists and groups of big leaguers, they were all friends, a lot of like Russia and America, they were friends, for the most part. A lot of these guys were friends, and they all did expeditions together. Even though they pretended they were in war, they really weren't. I think they went down to Antarctica and they activated some machines, and that was like maybe 1800s, 1900s, but it wouldn't really explain yet what happened in the early 1800s. I'm it maybe they did turn on the technology in the early 1800s, maybe, because why would Hitler already know how to go there in the early 1900s, and why was he so adamant? He must have heard something from the last 50 years on who was there, why they were there, and if the extra juicy details of how Operation Paperclip or Operation High Jump really went, how they saw Vril and flying craft, and Hitler actually made contact with these Vril, then they had technology, and then they had artifacts.
Yeah. From what I understand, Germany was very obsessed with the occult before Hitler even came into power.
That then the what is it, Theosophy through Helena, no, isn't it? It's not Helena Blum. Who's the original that he got all of his information with? Is it Helena?
Blavatsky?
Yes, Blavatsky.
Yeah.
She was the start of it, right? Kind
I
of.
think so.
Yeah. So
Sure, she had a role in it. She was
yes, in the
back
early
beneath the
1900s,
occult.
Helena Blavatsky was one of the main theosophists that led Germany to start thinking like this. All of her works made a lot of the rich Germans kind of start doing that. But it wasn't just that. It was, remember, like Hitler wasn't even German. It was a setup. They needed to set up. Fuck, this is deep, bro. If we look at Germany before World War I and World War II, like 95% of the population was Christian and Catholic, and then they infiltrated, and then they destroyed it. And when we look at the ancient tribes of who these Catholics and Christians were, these were some old families, old lineages from biblical times, and they were smart. They were very technologically, forward, and yeah, they got infiltrated back big time. Hitler wasn't even German, and so Germany was forced to look bad at the behalf of the Zionists.
Yeah, it was definitely some sort of effort to destroy Germany, because the big part of it too was they went and destroyed. They firebombed all like the German cities. What was the big one that was firebombed?
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name. Let me see.
It's like almost like what we did with Iraq in the Iraq wars, where we go in and destroy all their ancient museums and all these artifacts they have that, like, they're supposedly trying to find a Stargate in Iraq and all this stuff. They did the same thing in Germany.
How about they leveled Dresden?
Dresden, yeah.
Yeah, February 13, 1945. They dropped more than 3,900 tons of explosives. The attacks created a massive firestorm that destroyed over 1,600 acres. Damn.
Yep.
And I wonder why they destroyed Dresden. Do you think there was some of this fuck, there was some of this ancient technology. There were some of these Tartarian bases and Tartarian buildings, because I am seeing remnants right now. This is just over the last month, how in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, these were ancient Tartarian cities, and they had advanced technology there. Same thing with Germany and Dresden.
Same thing with Iraq. I mean, Iraq is like ancient Babylon. So, of course, they had stuff there. I know that because I remember hearing stories about them going to Iraq and then just ransacking the museums, just going in and just destroying stuff, taking stuff. Yeah.
Well, do you know something even more? The Dresden Codex is a Maya book, which is believed to be the oldest surviving book written in the Americas, dating to the 11th or 12th century. However, in September 2018, it was found to be previously known as the Grolier Codex. This codex was rediscovered in the city of Dresden, Germany. It is located in the Saxon State Library. The book suffered serious water damages during World War II. The pages were made of amate, 20 centimeters, and can be folded accordion style. When unfolded, the codex, it is 3.7 meters long. It is written in Mayan hieroglyphs and refers to an original text of 300 or 400 years earlier, describing local history and astronomical tales. Like other pre-Hispanic books in Mesopotamia, the Dresden Codex takes the form of a screen fold. This page consists of a paper made of a pounded inner bark of wild species, Ficus quaternifolia. In Maya, the word becomes equivalent to book. The Dresden Codex contains 78 pages with decorative board covers on the front and back. Most pages have writing on both sides. They have a border of red paint, although many have lost its framing due to age deterioration. The pages are generally divided into 3 sections. Students of the Codex have arbitrarily labeled 3 sections A, B, and C. Some pages have just 2 horizontal sections, while one has 4 and another has 5 sections. The individual sections with their own theme are generally separated by a red vertical line. Sections are generally divided into 2 or 4 columns. The Dresden Codex is one of the 4 hieroglyphic Maya codices that survived the Spanish Inquisition into the New World. I'm gonna pull this page up so everybody can see I'm not BSing. 3. So there's the Dresden Codex, the Madrid Codex, and Paris Codex, which is where they were all found. So there was a codex in Madrid, the codex found in Paris, and I believe there's also another codex down in Mexico somewhere. There's multiple. There's a lot of there's plenty of codexes. I forgot how many. There's not like hundreds, but there's a very few amount, very rare, and these things are important to history. The Dresden Codex is held by the Saxon State and University Library, Dresden, in Dresden, Germany. The Maya codices all have about the same size pages with a height of about 20 centimeters. So these codexes were made by the same people. The pictures and glyphs were painted by skilled craftsmen using thin brushes and vegetable dyes. Black and red were the main colors used for many of the pages. Some pages have detailed backgrounds in shades of yellow, green, and Mayan blue. The codex was written by 8 different scribes who all had their own writing style, glyph designs, and subject matter. The codex is described by historian Eric S. Thompson as writings of the indigenous people of the Yucatan Peninsula in southeastern Mexico. Maya historians Peter Schmidt, Mercedes Garza, and Enrique Nalda confirm this. Thompson further narrows the probable origin of the Dresden Codex to the area of Chichen Itza because certain pictures and symbols in the codex are only found on monuments in that location. He also argues that the astronomical tables would support this as the place of origin. Thompson claims that the people of the Yucatan Peninsula were known to have done such studies around 1200 AD. Thompson also notes the similar ceramic designs of the Chichen Itza area, which are known to have ceased in the early 13th century. British historian Clive Ruggles suggests, based on the analysis of several scholars, the Dresden Codex is a copy and was originally written between the 12th and 14th centuries. Thompson narrows the date to closer between 1200 and 1250. Maya archaeologist Linton Satewati puts the date no later than 1345. Johann Gotzi, German theologian and director of the Royal Library of Dresden, purchased the codex from a private owner in Vienna in 1739 while traveling to Italy. Thomas speculates that the codex was sent as a tribute to Charles V, the Holy Roman Emperor, by Hernan Cortez, governor of Mexico. Wasn't Hernan Cortez one of the people who sailed here? No, maybe.
Sure.
Okay. So the governor of
Let me-
Mexico sent it. Since examples of local writings and other Maya items were sent to the king in 1519 when he was living in Vienna, the codex was eventually cataloged into the Royal Library of Dresden in 1744, where it remained relatively obscure until the early 20th century. Alexander Humboldt published pages 47, 48, and 50 and 52 from the Dresden Codex in his 1810 Atlas Vus de Cordeles et Monuments des Peuples Indigenes de America. The first I can't believe I'm saying. I love trying to pronounce foreign languages because I don't know if I'm saying it right or wrong, and I don't care. The first reproduction of it. Okay. Oh my God. So this Alexander Humboldt wrote some of the pages in the first reproduction of his atlas. The first copy of the codex was published by Lord Kingsborough in 1831, Antiques of Mexico. In 1828, Constantine Samuel Rafinsky had identified this book as being of Maya origin based on its glyphs looking like those found at Palenque. So in 1820, they were already studying Palenque. Historian Cyrus Thomas made a connection between the codex of the 260-year cycle, Ahuacatun, of the Mayan calendar and the 365 days in a year. Rugel shows that in the Codex of the Maya, it related their 260-day calendar to celestial bodies, including Venus and Mars. The Codex has played a key role in deciphering of Mayan hieroglyphs. Dresden librarian Ernst Wilhelm Forstemann published the first complete Fascimile in 1810. He deciphered the calendar section of the Codex, including the Maya numerals used therein. Forstemann determined that these numbers, along with deities and day names, related to the Mayan calendar and the Mayan Codex long count calendar. Hold on. So even back then, they were using deities and things in day names. Like, that's what we got now in our days and our months. Like, there's deities. What the in the 1950s, Yuri Norozov used a phonetic approach based on the Delanda alphabet for decoding the codex, which was followed up in the 1980s by other scholars that did additional deciphering based on this concept. Paul Schkelix in 1897 and 1904 assigned letters to gods for specific glyphs since they had several possible names. For example, God D could be Hanub Kazu Itzamna, among other names, and God A could be Chitzen, among others. The Skelix system of assigning letters to gods represents by certain glyphs as a non-committal system, which was adopted later by researchers of Mayan codexes. Whoa, this is cool. They got the complete Mayan code. Whoa. Wow. So the Dresden Codex contains accurate astronomical tables, which are recognized by students of the Codex for its detailed Venus tables and lunar tables. So Venus is where supposedly Lucifer was. So he comes down every couple thousand years or something. The lunar series has intervals correlating with eclipses, while the Venus tables correlates with the movement of the planet Venus. The Codex also contains astrological tables and ritual schedules. The religious references show in a cycle of 260-day ritual calendar the important Maya royal events hold. The Codex also includes information on the Maya New Year ceremony tradition. So let's just see. Fuck, I can't even zoom in on that. Never mind. Italian artist and engraver Augusto Aglulio started in 1826, became the first to transcribe and illustrate the codex completely for Irish antiquarian Lord Kingsborough, who published it in his 9 volumes of Antiques in Mexico. The codex had some damage due to handling sunlight and moisture. Also, now it's just talking about deterioration. So let's see if I can zoom in on a.
Whoa.
Yeah, let's see real quick. So I'll try to zoom in even more. 1 second. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Zooming in. Shit. Oh shit. There we go. So these are what the Mayan codexes look. These are real, and there's 4 of them. And so, I wish we can change the light and the saturation and stuff very easily, but I know that that's going to be a challenge. So I'm just going to scroll through. And so as you see, wow, this is crazy. This is history we're looking at, bro.
Yeah.
This is so we see these entities, and what's crazy is that a lot of these times these entities have like the handbags. They look like they're in rocket ships. What do you
That
think
was
about?
they're always holding those pine cones. I don't know. I
Yes.
don't see any here with them.
No, that this one got a crystal ball or something. This one has like a yeah. So there's always all sorts of different things that they're holding or showing. But the mysterious part that I always find fascinating is how some of these guys and even the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, it shows UFOs or spacecrafts. These shows these guys in a spacecraft looking thing, or as in as Egypt, they show a UFO like thing. Trip
There's
out,
that one
guys.
classic image. I think is it Aztec. It looks very Aztec, but it's like the guy like sideways, like very clearly in some sort of ship
Mm-hmm.
flying.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There's dozens of those. There's so many of those. So man, just to think though that a couple hundred years ago, maybe even 1,000 years ago, this is what they were drawn.
Yeah,
This is
this was what was important to them to,
well,
to
they
keep
were
it on this
smarter. They
fake
they they
codex.
understood the star cycles. They understood the patterns of nature, and so they they were 50 times smarter. Shit, they're more illustrative than half the people today. Half the people today can't even write cursive or spell English. They can't draw. Let alone describe what they're seeing. These guys
Yeah,
are drawing and describing what they're seeing. They're putting it in the appropriate star patterns. They're actually what's the crazy part is like they're predicting years and decades and hundreds of years in the future. These guys are smart. The whole idea that humanity is smarter now than later, horrible. We're we're dumber now than before.
oh yeah.
So we're gonna keep
But
on going. We can. I wish there was color, but as you can see, even right here, look. Okay, uh, it looks like these mothers have a kid on the back with a helmet. This kid has some type of helmet over him.
you could probably sit there and analyze this thing for a long time. All the
Oh,
little
for sure.
threads.
I didn't know how slow it's scrolling, but okay. As you see, even things like eyes and stuff. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna try to just brush through this faster. Okay, so here now, here's this guy has like a fish in his hand. Um, this guy has like uh weapons in his hand. I think the pine cone thing was like knowledge and spirit and I don't know, pineal gland probably. Like let's just say
That's
hypothetically,
the common thought
yeah.
is that it has to do with the pineal gland.
Like the hypothetically, the same thing with the VMAT2 gene. Well, shit, maybe they implanted a pineal gland into us, right?
Yeah, I mean maybe. I mean that is seems like the connection to the spirit realm, almost like the VMAT2 gene is kind of little different. But
And what's wild too about these hieroglyphs, we see creatures that do not exist anymore. We see animals and things
the
that,
animal hybrids, I meant to bring those up
yeah,
earlier.
dragons. What do you think of we're gonna wrap this up, but what do you think about the three-eye atlas?
I don't know. It seems like just deception.
Yeah.
It seems like a deception.
Yeah, you know about the research that Avi Loeb is straight out of Talpiot, right? Israeli intelligence agency um operation from the 1980s and stuff. And so also he was one of the only survivors in the Star Wars project where a dozen or more scientists got killed for studying top secret government shit. And he was, yeah, I think Avi Loeb, oh, I should slow down. Avi Loeb has shady connections, and I find it strange how he's all over every single news station, every one of them. Oh, Avi, you're right. Oh, we should be worried. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh my god, like it's so dumb the way that these stupid news actors are. Like they can't even think for themselves.
That's what they're paid to do.
And then Avi Loeb is going on air, and he's actually saying lies. So he's like, "Well, I don't. Mars doesn't have an atmosphere." But then, like NASA and all these other things are saying, "Well, we're shooting our satellites that can see and take pictures from the atmosphere." So so Avi Loeb is straight up manipulating something with this field, and you know, like but if it is real and they're trying to change what it is, you think that there's a possible speculation how ancient tribes would always say that a dragon in the sky with a tail and things like that, and some of these tribes say that based on the mathematics it's this year.
I mean, there's been a lot of
Yeah, but
signs and prophecies pointing towards 2025.
dude, I feel that too. I feel that too. I feel like this is a year that's going to end unreal. Like
Dude, I
next
just heard a song by Sammy Hagar that was written in like 1977. It's called "A Crack in the World," and like one of the lyrics is like watch out for the great divide that's coming in 2025.
Oh shit.
And I'm just like, what the heck?
What? Oh dang.
Yeah, it's like a 1978 Sammy Hagar song.
Are you in my Discord? Do you have a Discord?
I do.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll get you a link afterwards, and then you can participate and drop if you drop that song in there.
Yeah, it's something people have been talking about in connection to the Three Atlas thing. He says something about like 50 years to like something about 50 years that leaves us at 2027, which I don't know.
And the whole idea is like the electromagnetic storms is also like seemingly on point. Like we're going through an electromagnetic storm phase over the next few months, and so things are going to be weird. I already feel it weird. I'm not sweating anymore. I don't know. I got this new. Might as well since we're here. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna stay in the chat. Stay here. I'm gonna ask you a question afterwards. Is there anything else that you want to go ahead and tell people about real quick? Anything up and coming? I'm gonna have you on again, brother. This was a blast.
Yeah.
But for now, let's wrap this up. And
yeah, just come check out Chemical Free Body Stuff. They changed my life, and I know they can help change your life. I'm the customer service guy, so you can just call me and I'll answer. There's no robot. There's no AI chatbot. There's no overseas person. You just call me, talk to me. You can ask me questions. If you want to call and just talk about this stuff, I don't care.
Yeah, Nick Craciun got the cranium of the AI though, so ask him everything you want, man.
yeah. I mean, it's like 2:30 where I'm at, so my brain is like fried. I'm up like 5 hours past my bedtime.
This is where this is where the spirit detaches from the body. Because I feel like throughout the day sometimes our body is so energetic and tied up with motion that it doesn't give our brain the freedom to think. But then later on the night, because our body is weighing down and tired,
I
and our
used to be that way. I used to be that way. Now I'm like I'm
nah, dude, this was a
eh.
super lucid conversation, bro. This was amazing. This was like straight tapped into the spirit world, bro. Yeah, let them know where they can find you though. Like, do you have socials and anything?
The only social I have is Facebook. I try to
Oh,
avoid a
okay,
lot of
just
socials.
okay.
I basically just have it for my microgreens business.
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. So where can they find that, bro? That's what I'm.
Creationsbackyard.com. I don't like ship, so but if you're like in Northeast Ohio, I'll absolutely get you some microgreens.
Here, let me go ahead and put it on the screen. Creation's backyard. Hey, is there a 509 Divine Pines coupon code? I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm playing. Look, so here it is. Boom. Creation's backyard microgreen, the true superfood. Hey man, this is awesome, dude. Nice page. I like this. Chill and simple. I'm better than mine. My mind's all dead
I
right
don't know
now.
why it's off center, but it's all right.
What you talking about?
The microgreens is off center for some reason, but
Oh, dude, I thought I was just high. You're right. You're completely right, bro.
it's weird.
I don't know. You know what? Hey, but I'm glad that we figured it out right now because now you're about to go fix it. Yeah. So as you guys seen right there, go check out his
Not off
website.
center
Go,
on mine. That's weird. I don't know.
you know. All right,
I
bro.
don't know. We'll worry about
Not,
that later. Yeah.
I think my computer glitched out, dude. I've been talking too long. um, so it's been a blast, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys could go support him, buy some greens, buy some chemical-free body from chemicalfreebody.com.
Try our new apple flavored greens.
Ooh,
They are delicious. Like our
Is it-
regular green flavor was good. This stuff is like tasty. And
I
it's
bet.
nothing synthetic, no artificial flavors, like actual organic natural flavors. It's delicious.
I bet, man. That's one of the best products they got. The Green 85, definitely most powerful. If
It's
anybody
a
wants
must.
to clean up their body and get supercharged, that is where it's at. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody around this just went down. And stay tuned. Tomorrow we have Dr. Simon Hine to get very multidimensional. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Be blessed. Be high. See you guys next time on the 509 Divine Pines podcast. Peace. Wait.